Battlers, I am back. Welcome to another episode of the Knighted Podcast Roster Review Edition. Well, we have booked our seat at the finals table, and now our mighty Newcastle Knights return back to McDonald Jones Stadium once more this Saturday afternoon for what might be, which is, I should say, our very last regular season game at McDonald Jones Stadium. And you all know what that means. Old Boys Day. That's right. Now, do you think Manly, who have lost the last 6 games straight, out of finals contention altogether, possibly stand a chance against our boys playing back home at a packed-out McDonald Jones Stadium in front of the old boys, watching them play a team who they bitterly hate, our oldest rival, those silver-tailed bastards, the Manly Sea Eagles? I don't think they will. I am very confident we will get the job done against the Sea Eagles convincingly. But before we get to that, we'll take a look at our player battle matchups brought to you by the Metal Man, your grain-fed lock-it-in predictions. Get them in. Get them in. Lou will start tagging those in the background, as well as answering your Get Out Alive fire safety training birding questions. So, Battlers, sit back and get ready as we take a look at the Justin Holbrook outlook for our round 25 clash against the Manly Sea Eagles, baby. Let's go! Chew on that. Do you know who can go chew on that, Lou?
Before you have your chew on that, we have something a bit different.
Do we?
Yep.
What do we have?
A chew on that voicemail.
This is a first. A battler send their own chew on that. All right. Who's this from? Joshy. What do you got for us, Josh?
Linkley Battlers. I have a chew on that. Now, after I finish with the GOAT content creator, that is Mr. Knighted, Lincoln, I usually run through the Rugby League podcast and get a rundown of what they're saying about our Knights.
Mm-hmm.
One that I listened to yesterday from a former Manly enforcer, let's call him A. Watmow on that. We'll call him Anthony W. And I quote, Kalen and Fletcher, I don't think they're working well together. They both want to run the ball and both want to beat the person with speed. I just don't see them working well together. Can we get this bloke a CAT scan? ASAP, seriously. Ponga, 280 run meters. Fletcher, 178 run meters. 18 tackle breaks together, and they have 4 line breaks together in the Titans game. Is he like, okay, that's a category 1. That's a few months out, that is. What? Anthony Watmel, don't worry about chewing that. You can suck on that. Dickhead.
I love it, Joshy. Laying the boot in the choggy Watmel. Yeah, he might need a CAT scan, and he might need his vision looked at also. How on earth you come to that conclusion? He is alone on that summation of the great Razor Sharp and Kalen Ponga. They were absolutely devastating against the Titans last week. I don't know what game he was watching. It certainly wasn't the same one we were watching. Potentially quite salty that his beloved Sea Eagles are just, I don't even know how to politely put this, very mid, and that's being gracious. They stink. They suck. They are in a world of hurt. Manly, I tell you what, I think they're going to be in the box seat for the wooden spoon next year. I really do. There's a receipt. You let me know. I think they're in a world of hurt, old Manly. But yeah, good for you, mate. Get it off your chest. Good stuff, Joshy. Well, I tell you what, let's continue that theme, shall we? I want to perpetuate the absolute disgust that we should have for our oldest rival, our oldest foe. That is the Manly Sea Eagles, the team that we would go on to defeat in the 1997 Grand Final. One of the greatest upsets in sporting history that day. Now, we're going to take a look at some players as I step across here. Now, very unfortunate to us, there have been some Manly defectors, some great Newcastle Knights players that have defected to our greatest enemy. That being, first to kick it off, geez, it's hard to look at, Ben Kennedy. Played with us from 2000 to 2004. Obviously a premiership winner. 2001, I would have him easily in our best 13. I think he's the best back rower that's ever played for us. 86 games for the Knights before linking up with Manly for 2 years. Yuck. 2005, 2006, retired to Seagull. Should have never happened. Salary cap restraints, unfortunately, forced him out. But, geez, if we had our time again, we got to do better. We had to keep BK. The go to Manly? Oh, my God. Gross. But it keeps going. Another absolute Knights legend. Premiership winner also, Josh Perry. Played for the Knights between 2000 and 2007. 142 games for our great club before defecting to Manly, winning a comp with them also in 2008. This one stung as well. He was good stuff, Josh Perry. Good quality forward. Obviously, 2001 premiership winner with our boy BK as well. But this one I think might be the weirdest one yet. Our boy, Aquila the Thriller. Aquila Iwate. 161 games as a Newcastle Knight. Holds the record for the most amount of tries ever scored by a Newcastle Knight. 110 to his name. Played for us between 2008 to 2016 before linking up with those Silvertail bastards for 2017, 2018. And if you remember, do you remember, add insult to injury, when he scored that, well, he didn't score that try, when he completely fumbled the ball in a attempt to score and they gave it? Do you remember that? 10 points to the first battler. Who can drop that in the comments? It was either obviously 2017 or 2018. And I think they won off the back of it. It wouldn't have been round 1, 2018, when Mitchell Pearce debuted and Kalen Ponga debuted and slotted the field goal to defeat those bastards. But there you go. Let me know, is there any other Knights players that I might have missed that have defected to Manly that really grind your gears? They're the big three for me. They're the three that come to mind. They're the Mount Rushmore of defectors to our worst enemy. But you let me know. You let me know in the comments. Well, I tell you what, Ballas, if you're going to chew on something absolutely bloody elite. Beef jerky, quality beef jerky that is going to hit you harder than Chief Harrigan was hitting Spud Carroll all those years ago. I'm telling you that much. All right? Some quality gear. Get your game day fuel by visiting beachjerky.net.au. Go get your game day fuel. Go support the sponsors that support us. They even dropped some more content. I believe now Greggy Marzu's onto the beach jerky, Lou. Matty Croker's getting onto this stuff as well. So I tell you what, it's got to be some good gear because the boys are playing pretty fucking good football and they got a bit of beach jerky in their gut when they're doing it. So get around it. Doing some good stuff, the boys there at Beach Jerky. Get around it. I'll tell you what, if you're talking about getting around something, get around the live stream. Give it a big old thumbs up. Really does help us out. Like, follow, subscribe. Now, public service announcement too. For all of our TikTok audience, I don't know how much longer we can go live on TikTok. Every time we go live on TikTok, they keep striking us with violations. I don't know what I'm saying or doing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong every time I go live on TikTok, but I keep getting a slap on the wrist to the point where I might get banned off there. So stay tuned. So I urge you, if you're on TikTok, I'm probably going to get 1,000 points for saying this on TikTok. If you're on, if you enjoy watching us every single episode on TikTok,
there are other platforms. Say than other names. I think that could be another strike. They don't like you saying other platform names.
Boo-hoo. So go like, follow, subscribe on other platforms. We go on multiple. We never have any issues with any of the others. It's just that one platform. I don't know. Maybe they're fucking Manly supporters over on TikTok. Who fucking knows? Maybe they're Broncos supporters. They've got the shits with it.
Just a shout out to Human Fun CEO, sent $2.
Good on you, Human Fun CEO.
Oh, cool. A live Nights podcast. Lucy Spain is hot.
Lucy Spain. Oh, the fullback. Oh, okay. We all know Human Fun CEO's type. Good on you, mate. Appreciate that, my brother. So, yeah, there you go. TikTok audience, you might have to migrate. We'll have to see. Your boy keeps getting slaps on the wrist there. Now, if you do want to support us here at The Knighted, you can do so by finding our Patreon link in the show notes below, or you can just fucking Google it. It's not too hard to find. $5, $10, $25 per month goes a long way to help Lou and I here at the Night to keep the lights on, keep it all running. For you guys, greatly appreciative of all the battlers who continue to support us. It really, really does help us out. Does go a long, long way, and we are so greatly appreciative of that. Now, might we mention too, for all the $25 members that are in the Lock It In Championships, I tell you what, that's going to be announced in the coming weeks too. So keep your eyes peeled. The belt will be given out once more, the championship belt. The winner's going to be announced in the coming week. So stick around for that. All right, let's do it. Let's take a look at the Night News. Oh, no.
It's the Night News.
What did I do wrong?
Where is it?
My night. Oh, there's no Night News. Oh, shit. Just click on one of them up there. Sorry, I butchered this. My bad. Go to that second top one up there. No, two up top. Two up top. There we go. Let's nail this one. All right, here we go. Sorry. Your boy forgot to load up the graphics for the Night News.
Sorry, Battlers. The reason why we were late too, I had to have a power nap. I've been having 3:30 a.m. starts, so
Yeah. Burning the.
I didn't double check Lincoln's work, so there you go.
So yeah, double burning the candle at both ends, shall we say, Lou? All right, now this generally wouldn't make news, but because it caused such a stir, now the Newcastle Knights released their 1996 World Heritage Sevens shirt, not a jersey, a shirt. Now these things sold out like absolute fucking hotcakes. 15 minutes is all it took for them to be completely and utterly sold out. I was very fortunate. I was there just refreshing the screen on midday to secure mine. I had no idea they would sell this fast. There were people that were saying that even a couple minutes.
Adam said 12:01.
Wow.
Sold out. And Carly said she had it in the cart, went to check out and lost it.
That's insane. I got a 2XL coming. And yeah, I felt like I didn't have to rush it. I just went through the procedures, but yeah, man, that's crazy. So now look, I have inquired through my sources. I have been told, unfortunately, the Newcastle Knights do not look like they're going to be releasing any more of these because I have been absolutely inundated with messages. If I had a look at my DMs, I got so many messages from people asking me, where can I get my hands on one, or are the Knights going to drop some more? So your boy's done some homework, and from what I've been told, no. Now, unlike the Anzac jersey, because the Anzac jersey, being a jersey, is kind of partnered with the NRL. This is what I was kind of explained. So when they sold out last year, if you remember, then they did the pre-orders again. That's something to do kind of with the NRL. This is like a club exclusive, so it's kind of a bit different in this regard. I really do hope, at the very least, they do pre-orders. They're leaving money on the table, not offering more of these. So it's not concrete I wouldn't say it's concrete, but from what I've been told, there's no plans to release any more. So if you got your hands on one, you're very fortunate. If you got your hands on more than one, I'll tell you what, you might be able to fucking pay your house off. I would hate to see if you drop one of these things on eBay in the next week, what it would go for. Selling like absolute hotcakes, because they are based off one of my personal favorites, this absolute gem of kit here, the 2006 World Sevens jersey. Do not ask how much I paid for this. I'm not going to say it in front of my wife.
Yeah, I'm scared to know because that's like the 5th time I've heard you say that in like 24 hours.
I did sell some other non-Knights jerseys to raise funds for it, but still, regardless. Now, if you didn't know, Tidwells did release this retro remake of it. Unfortunately, I don't know why it didn't do the Stockland on the front. These are still readily available also. Obviously, it doesn't have the Newcastle on there and the updated badge, but these are still readily available. So if you
look at the comment from Ty, he said, unfortunately, we use our allotted jersey slots for the year, so the boys managed to make a workaround.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, I think.
Do you just want to reread that because I just butchered that?
Yeah, from our boy Ty. Unfortunately, they used the allotted jersey slots for the year, so the boys managed to make a workaround. So yeah, I believe it's 6 jerseys. There are concessions that teams can make. Obviously, when we saw the Jai Arrow jerseys and that obviously would not have been planned earlier when whatever the protocol is when, all the NRL clubs submit their jerseys. There are workarounds for that. But I would be absolutely shocked if this jersey isn't going to be at least a heritage jersey next year. I think at the very least, it should be a Magic Round jersey. It's fucking elite. And then when we go global round, it plays into it, the World Sevens. What better jersey to play at a global round than the World Sevens jersey? Just makes sense, right? Anyway, so stay tuned. They might do a pre-order, but don't hold your breath for that one, battlers. All right, moving along. Our boy, Frank the Tank Francis Manulele-Ua, unfortunately, an omission from the team. Kind of good news in a roundabout way. We know he pulled, it was well noted during the game last week against the Titans, and Justin Holbrook had commented about his hamstring. That was the first my immediate thought was when it was announced that, he's omitted from the team. God, have we got another player with some hamstring injuries? That isn't the case. Our boy's suffering from delayed concussion symptoms. So that's positive. It's no soft tissue stuff whatsoever. So obviously got the week off there. What we were robbed of, though,
breaking news. Dom just said, going on the Newcastle bandwagon, FYI, if I'm excited.
Oh, Dom. I was just talking to Dom just before we went live.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Good on you, Dom. I've been recruiting so many people on the bandwagon. There's going to be a shitload of people on the Knights bandwagon, mate. So welcome aboard. I was really looking forward to the battle between our boy Francis Manulele-Ua and Haumole Olakau'atu. Although that was going to be a showdown for the ages. That would have been our player battle matchup. Unfortunately, we're going to be robbed of that, but you would think only the week off for our boy Francis, who has just been an absolute impeccable form the last month. So rest up, big dog. Looking forward to seeing you back on the field against the Wars next week. Moving across to a guy that really does have an injury cloud over him at the moment, Dane Gagai. Hamstring injury suffered in the first half last week against the game against the Titans. He didn't come out of the sheds. Toby Winter obviously making his debut off the back of that. Now, he has been sent for scans. The Knights haven't revealed if he is going to be back for finals or the extent of this injury. And I think it's just an incredible shame of all the games that Gags has missed is this one, Old Boys Day. Like, this could be his last game. Let's hope it's not. Let's hope we secure a home semi. So it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility that we're going to be playing another game at McDonald Jones Stadium. But at the very least, on Old Boys Day, to send him off, to have that last hurrah at McDonald Jones Stadium locked in, let's hope at the very least we haven't seen Dan Gagai play for the Knights for the last time at all. Let's hope scans reveal it's not too bad. And, he can come back for finals. Luckily, obviously, we're afforded to arrest him even if he was 50-50 against the Wars, and we obviously got the bye, so he's got a few weeks up his sleeve. So fingers crossed for our boy Gags that we send him off the right way, and he doesn't end his career at the Knights with a hamstring injury. So stay tuned for that one, battlers. But let's do it. Let's sink our teeth into the teams that Justin Holbrook and Kieran Foran have named for our round 25 clash, shall we? All right, let's kick it off with the spine for the Newcastle Knights, completely unchanged from last week with our skip, Kalen Ponga, once more with 151 games. This weekend, Fletcher Razor Sharp, your Titanium Forge Player of the Week, with some superb statistics that Josh read out earlier, who Anthony Watmow has no idea what he's even looking at with our boy Fletcher Sharp. Sandon Smith and Phoenix Crossland rounding out the spine, moving across to those silver-tail bastards. Tommy Turbo returning after 3 games out with a hamstring injury. Their skipper, he returns this game at fullback. Clayton Failolo shifted back to the 5'8" position with Joey Walsh, who suffered a handline fracture in his jaw last week. Finds himself partnered up with Jamal Fogarty and Brandon Wakeham in the halves for Manly. Now, it needs to be studied, the complete and utter fall-off of the Manly Seagulls. Obviously, they didn't start great. It was excellent when we finally broke the drought at Brookvale Oval. 10 points to the first battler. Who can tell me how long it was? I was meant to try and find it before we went live, but I forgot. Since we last beat them at Brookie, when we beat them earlier this year, round 2, I believe, when we came back from Vegas and we succumbed. Both Skip and Dylan Brand picked up those injuries earlier in the year. Got the job against them there. Anthony Seibold, he's punted. Kieran Foran comes in. The birth of Fosball. Overnight, he seemingly becomes the greatest rugby league coach to ever have been. And fast forward now, there's 6 straight losses. Looking absolutely fucking terrible. No answers. Floundering, to say the best. And they're probably all sitting there wondering, why did we just give this man a 3-year contract extension? So, yeah, anyway, sucked in Manly. Yeah, look, Tommy Turbo, obviously a big in. Fuck it, let's do it. Before we talk about Tommy Turbo, let's do it. Let's take a look at this week's player battle matchup brought to you by the Medal Man, where every single battle deserves a medal. At the Medal Man, they specialize in high-quality custom medals and awards for sporting clubs with competitive pricing, fast turnaround, and that friendly local Newcastle service that you just know and love. From the junior carnivals all the way to the grand final. And even the Danny Badiris medal, which I'm sure they've made right now. They will help recognize every single achievement in style. The Medal Man, where every single win deserves recognition. Let's take a look at our player battle matchup. Now, as I said earlier, it would have been our boy Francis Manu Leleua up against Hamolo Olakawatu, but I've got the two captains, Kalen Ponga up against Tommy Turbo. Tom Turbo, the proverbial tip of the spear for that of the Manly Seagulls. If there is going to be some universe where Manly they were unable to score points without him last week, if there any chance of trying to score points or even remotely think about victory against our team, it's going to have to come off the back of a bit of Tommy Turbo magic. Let's be honest. Whether he can stay on the field for 80 minutes, that's another debate, unfortunately, for Tommy. But yeah, these two guys obviously immense for both clubs. But it has been proven, unlike the Manly Seagulls, we don't need Kalen Ponga to play fucking 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 to score points. We can still win football games when KP's a little bit off, not at his best. But I don't think the Seagulls afforded that same luxury. They've got a young Clayton Fa'alolo, Jamal Fogarty, a serviceable halfback. Is he one of the elite halfbacks? I wouldn't say so. A handy veteran pickup from the Raiders. I think he's been a little bit down, to be honest. I certainly don't think he's hit the heights that he did, that little bit of a renaissance that he had with the Raiders last year. Brandon Wakeham too, again, they don't have world beaters. They've got issues all over this roster at the moment. I know they've had their injuries, but their roster fucking stinks. The dreaded R word is coming towards the Manly Seagulls, and it's coming fucking fast. That rebuild train is going to be going right through that building. I can guarantee you that. So look, I have absolutely all the faith in the world that our spine is infinitely better than this one. I said 6 straight losses. They are just searching for answers. They've got really nothing to play for at this point. They're already thinking about Bali. They've already got their minds on Mad Monday. Just given the circumstances around Old Boys Day and Manly, 10 points to the first battler. I went back as far as 2000. I think I went back as far as 2004 to see, have we ever played Manly on Old Boys Day before. I went back 20 plus years, couldn't find one. So if you can find one, let me know. I'm not sure if this is a first or not, but pretty miraculous if this would be the first time that we've faced our greatest foe on Old Boys Day. So I think the boys are going to get the job done there. Obviously, Jsaf was absolutely electric. He is just hitting a sweet spot at the moment, getting really back to that Vegas form that we just had us scintillating at the start of the year. The Americans were just treated to some beautiful 20 minutes of football there from Razor before he did that MCL injury. Sandon's doing quite serviceable. Defensively, obviously, that's going to be worked on. The Titans really got it once they smelt a bit of blood in the water, attacking that sort of right edge there of the Newcastle Knights. What have we got here? Sorry, Lou. Justin, July 2020 was the last time we won at Brookie with us winning 14-12. I thought it was way longer than that. Why did I think it was like over 20 years? There you go. COVID times, we beat them. Interesting. I know, I swear, did someone put in the comments last time before we wrapped up the show on Sunday, was it 1999? Was that the last time we've beaten Manly 2 times in a season, in a regular season? I think that was someone mentioned that to me. If that someone can get me that stat as well. The last time we've shut out the Seagulls, we've beaten them, gone undefeated against them in a season. So that'd be quite nice to break that drought also. But yeah, obviously giving us the tick in the box there. Manly got all kinds of woes. yeah, Luke Brooks obviously injured. He hasn't really been great for him, let's be honest, as well. So, yeah, got a couple of guys filling in. But, yeah, I think the upside and the ceiling of this Knights outfit is infinitely better than that of the spine of the Seagulls. Let's move along to the outside back, shall we? Dominic Young on the right edge with Fletcher Hunt, one of the flow bros, obviously filling in for Dane Gagai out with that hamstring injury. Our boy Bradman Best returns after 2 games out with that calf injury with his boy Greggy Marzu, formerly known as Greg Lalicio, on that left edge. Moving across to our opposition with Jason Saab and Ruben Garrick on the left edge there, and Tolatale Kula and Lehigh Hopewadi on the right edge for the Manly Warringah Seagulls. Obviously, Bradman Best, fingers crossed. We have been teased the last couple of weeks. He's been named and then a late omission. Let's hope that he is all good to go. And he's not going to be a late scratching. But if that is to be the case, you've got a young Toby Winter waiting in the wings so we could usher in also as a little bit of a silver lining. But, yeah, let's hope Brady's back and just gets a couple of reps under his belts before we get into the bye and then really get into the business end of the season once more. Moving across to the Manly Seagulls. Now, this is probably looking at the spine, the backs, and the forwards. Their backs are clearly, that's where they shine the most. If you're sort of stacking the decks of the Seagulls, it's the backs where they're the most stacked, to be honest. Ruben Garrick, 7th in the NRL for offloads. That was a little bit of a surprise. Lehigh Hopewadi, though, leading try scorer for the Seagulls, 10th in the NRL for tries scored this season, and the leading line breaker for the Seagulls with 9 to his name as well. So is scoring points for the Seagulls there along that right edge. But, yeah, there is strike there. There is strike. I just think it's lack of creativity. And obviously when you haven't got Tommy Turbo, which the team is kind of built around, not able to unlock these guys. Because you kind of look – when I was going through the statistics, the funny thing with the Seagulls, they're very mid. That's why I landed on that word earlier in the show, because you kind of go through all the metrics throughout the year, because now you've actually got a really good body of work to gauge what teams are good at what. And they basically sit around that 8th, 9th, 10th. They bounce sort of around there in most statistics. They're not certainly nowhere near the best, not the worst. They're just sort of floating around the middle. There's nothing sort of super exciting about the Seagulls. So I think, the backs have certainly suffered off the back of that. Again, I'm going to give the tick in the box to us. Why wouldn't we? Our outside backs have been absolutely enormous this year. Looking at the tackle breaks, the boys, all of our boys are well up there. Obviously, the tries coming to Dominic Young and Greggy Marzu this year has just been absolutely incredible. Let's hope we can get them a few more. I want to see some hatties, some doubles, because I want to see the try-scoring record broken. I really would have thought they were on a real heater there a month or so ago. They were just scoring tries for fun, both of them. And it kind of just dried up a little bit. We're scoring points elsewhere. But you let me know, do you think we can beat Dominic Young's record? I believe, was it 21, 22 tries in the regular season? Again, 10 points the first battle. You can tell me that too. All right, let's move along, shall we, to the forwards for the Newcastle Knights. Jermaine McEwen on the right edge there. Tyson Frizzell, ladies and gentlemen. Tyson Frizzell back in the back row once more. Wow, I feel like I'm in a time machine. We're in 2023 all over again. Trey Mooney, our boy, Jacob Saifidi makes his return since that Dolphins game after 6 weeks sitting on the sidelines. What a massive return that is, and a big boost for our boys. In Matty Croker once more, locking down the middle, moving across to our opposition with Hamole Alakawatu and Ben Travojevic in the back row with Simi Lafari Fee, starting prop with Nathan Brown and Jake Travojevic at lock forward. Now, I'm going to say it on record. I genuinely believe the Manly Seagulls have the worst pack in the comp, and I don't think it's even fucking close. I know they've got injuries. Kobe Hetherington, Tokiao, Bullymore, Paseka. They do have big injuries. All right. Paseka being the big one. He was he was having a bit of a breakout year this year. Bullymore too is an understated prop forward. But yeah, they have just been decimated with injury through the middle. So really suffering there. And obviously when you haven't got the quality forward pack to kind of, get you over the advantage, like playing a bit of front foot football and lay down that, the old trope, lay down the platform so your halves can get off the back of that. It's just trickling down for the Seagulls. That's not happening. They haven't got the creative spark. They just don't have the cattle in the spine to really get the job done, barred injuries, or they just haven't got the star power. And then the outside backs just really can't. It just starves them of opportunities. So, again, Jacob Saifidi coming back is massive. Even without the inclusion of Jacob Saifidi, I still think we had the edge, but this just really doubles down on it.
Got a voicemail to play.
Have we? All right, enough of me yabbering on. Who we got here? Chrissy.
Hi, Link, Lou, and Battlers. Happy Team List Tuesday. Just my thoughts on the team. Great to see Jsaf back. Been missing him up front. Looking forward to seeing him lead the pack with Mooney up there with him. Also disappointed in Gags and Francis not being in the team, but injuries will happen. The main thing I'm disappointed about is watching Francis go up against Olakau'atu and showing him and the rest of Manly side what he can do. But still a strong side named and strong enough to give Manly a good old-fashioned spanking. Knights 13 plus. Let's go.
On you, Chris. Fuck, we're a high IQ bunch here. Huh? Seriously, if there was some study done, there's got to be a university somewhere in the country that can round up a bunch of supporters, all right, from each respective club and did IQ tests. Knights are coming out on top, baby. High IQ stuff, Chris. You took the words out of my mouth. We're all thinking the same thing. I will ask, though, Lou, do you say Francis or Francis? What's the old ladies? You say France or France?
Ooh.
What do you say?
Francis?
I don't know. I bounce between them. I'll have to ask Francis because obviously we nail these the pronunciation of Manu Leleua. But if we butchered it as you go, no, it's Francis. He likes it a bit fancier.
Plant.
Is it dance or dance?
Yeah.
Does Francis dance or does Francis dance?
Potato.
I say Francis. I don't know. You let me know. What sounds better? Frank the Tank. I guess because you're saying Frank the Tank. Francis. Anyways, enough of pronunciations.
You're hurting my brain.
Yeah, sorry. Going around circles, yeah, but yeah. Jacob Saifidi, obviously a massive in. Going to be good to have him a couple of games back again before we hit the ground running into the business end of the season once more because he and Trey Mooney were excellent. People kind of forget how good Jacob was. And, yeah, I don't think he would have looked out of place whatsoever back in the Blues there for Laurie Daly. He was playing some fucking really good football. So, yeah, going to be great to see Jacob back there. But, yeah, huge kudos to all the other guys, whether it be Cody Hopwood, Tyson obviously doing his bit in the middle there as well. Big shoes to fill, and they did a really serviceable job. But the big dog is back once more. What are you laughing at?
Dominic's asked you, how do you pronounce pronunciation, Lincoln?
Pronunciation. Yeah, I know. I butchered that one. How ironic of me. All right, let's do it. Let's move along to the bench for the Newcastle Knights with our boy Harrison Graham. Cody Hopwood relegated back to the bench, making way for the big dog, Jacob Saifidi with Lockie Crouch, Tom Cant, Toby Winter, the debutant last week, and Pasami Solo, who made his return but didn't play any minutes last week. So he'll be eager to get back on the field this week and get some minutes under his belt. Moving along to the bench for the Seagulls with Jake Simpkin, Nicholas Lenza, Caleb Navale, Corey, Waddell, Josh Folletti, and Fletcher Baker. Yeah, I don't know what's more to say here. I think the unsung heroes, I guess you could say, for the Newcastle Knights. I know, we know what we got an elite back line. We saw what this back line could do, in 2023. Enough's been said about that, right? Absolute studs. The spine speaks for itself. They pick up 19 Forge Players of the Week. Dylan Brands has been hailed as one of the great signings this season by any club. Kalen Ponga just keeps doing Kalen Ponga things. But the forwards, and particularly a lot of these young bench forwards, fucking kudos to you guys. As I was saying before, you got young Cody Hopwood. He's risen to the occasion. Talking about young guys just leveling up, he's been absolutely sensational. Lockie Crouch, sensational. Tyson Frizzell, 301 games his name, but just bringing that veteran experience off the bench. Brodie Jones coming in, when we're decimated by injury. Mr. Nitanium gets the job done again. So, yeah, huge kudos to these guys. You know, they're coming in and doing a really good job. Pasami, very keen to see him get some minutes. I guess with the game script with Dane Gagai being injured, probably fucked that up a little bit for Justin Holbrook, but if all goes according to plan, I'm sure Pasami's going to get a couple of minutes here. But, geez, I really do think they're in a bit of Barney rubble here, the Seagulls. You know, they got Caleb Navale here. He'll come off the bench for his first NRL game in over a year, coming back for an ACL. So he's going to be a bit undercooked. But, yeah, I'm just looking at that bench rotation, and it's not giving me a lot of enthusiasm for the Seagulls supporters, and I'm sure I'm probably echoing their very same sentiments. I think we've got a nice, serviceable bench here, and they can keep turning up and getting the job done. So kudos to the bench. We don't give enough praise to our boys on the bench, so there you go, fellas. But all in all, across the board, whether it be the spines, the backs, the forwards, or the bench, we've got their number. I just cannot see how the Seagulls win this football game. They're just searching for answers, and just more of a head scratcher. Why on earth did they give Kieran Foran a 3-year contract extension? It's not like there was fucking clubs bashing down the door to get Kieran's signature, much like that of Benji Marshall. But anyways, that's their fucking problem, not ours, right? All right, let's do it. Let's take a look at your lock-it-ins, battlers.
It's time to lock it. It's time to lock it in.
All right, that's right. It's time to lock it in with our good mates at Grain Fed Brewery. The beer brew tough, just like your game day calls. Whether you're backing in the boys for a big win or predicting a masterclass from your favorite player, make sure you have a cold Grain Fed in hand. Bold flavors, bold predictions. Lock it in with Grain Fed. And I tell you what, I want to see plenty of battlers kicking around Grain Fed Brewery. A mere 4 minutes walk, I would say. Michael, who joined me on the Night's Watch, can detest to how good the game day lagers in particularly are whilst watching the football pre and post. So get around it. Support the sponsors that support us. You won't get a colder beer closer to McDonald Jones Stadium than the beautiful Grain-Fed Brewery. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you'll see an old boy or two kicking around there having a beer or two. All right, let's give you my lock-it-ins. Given that Tyson Frizzell is making his triumphant return at the back into the back row, give me an anytime try scorer for our boy Tyson Frizzell. Right there, parked up on that lethal left edge. I'm assuming on the left edge. Greggy Marzu running for 200 of the best. Good luck stopping him, Seagulls. And Dominic Young, 2 line breaks. Sue is going to be doing cartwheels in Newcastle at McDonald Jones Stadium. I can tell you that much. Knights are going to complete at 85%. Less than 9 errors again. I know that's been a common theme with my lock-it-ins, but I'm sticking with them. Yeah. Want to see that? I've got Knights 13+. I got a scoring first, and it's going to be fucking quick. We've been really on brand with just punching a team in the face really quickly and setting the tone for the rest of the game. So lock that in, battlers. All right, let me know what you got. Shoot him through. Brenton, lock it in. Manly play. Fizzing ball. I like that one. Jsaf scores for the old boys. Minimum 82% completion. Lethal left combined for 3+ tries, I'm assuming. Link to give KP's new signature move to the to 2 pillows after 13+. Gonna go dry hump some pillows. Oh, good stuff. Did you see these? Fletcher Hunt's new nickname is Fletcher Hump. Now, Lou, I thought that was quite clever. Saw someone comment that before. All right, good stuff, Brendan. Justin, you mad dog. Lock it in. Chew on that, Manly. Fletcher Sharp, 250+ run meters. Toby Winter to score a debut try. Ooh, so what do you reckon? You reckon Brady might be a late scratching again, brother? Knights sub-9 errors with you there. 13 line breaks. Ooh. Geez, that crowd of Mac Jones is going to be going wild. Knights to score in the first 10 minutes with you there, pal. Nice 13+. That sounds fucking awesome. Michael and I, who will be joining me once more on the Night's Watch, mate, we'll be doing fucking cartwheels in here. Christopher, what do you got, you mad dog? Knights make Seagulls look like pigeons. Mate, they make themselves look like fucking pigeons, if I'm going to be honest. Young anytime try scorer. McEwen anytime try scorer. He deserves one. He's been fucking red hot. Knights 45 to 50 tackle breaks. Knights 7 errors or less. Loving that. Getting those fundamentals right. If we hold on to the ball and make that lesser error, mate, it's going to be a fucking almighty score. Knights 13 plus. Knights to score first and last. Beautiful. Love it, Chris.
Got one on Insta from Big Mitch. Anytime try scorer, Hunt and Sharp, Young to run a clinic, Crossland for a 40-20.
Ooh, yeah, Crossland. We're overdue for a Crossland 40-20. One thing to keep an eye on too with our boy, not our boy, their boy, Jamal Fogarty. He doesn't mind a 40-20 either. Jesus, this one sunk me, Pete. What are you doing, mate? I'm going to fucking get on my tippy toes here.
Dicky knee.
Oh, my Lord. Do I look like Dickie Knee if I turn around to the back? If I shake my head around?
You do.
Hey?
Yeah.
Oh, Pete. All right, lock it in. KP to have 3 try assists, 5 line breaks, and to finally get on top of his ball handling errors. Love that. Sandon Smith to make a statement and perform like Nathan Cleary with 600-plus kick meters. Give me that. Thank you. 2 try assists and 2 try assists plus 5 line break assists. Jesus Christ. I think he's going to pick up Nightanian Forge Player of the Week, mate, if he gets that. 3 repeat sets. Jsaf, 485 meters. Jesus Christ, mate. He's going to run a marathon on the Seagulls. Tearing Manly a new arsehole like a massive shit coming out of their ass into the toilet. Beautiful. Couldn't have said that better myself, Pete. Bonus. Cat Anthony Watmow to defect to our team. You reckon we're going to spank him that hard that Anthony Watmow is going to defect to us in retirement? Geez, that's an all-time low for the Seagulls. Matty, what do you got, big dog? Marzu, Bradman Best, and Sharp, anytime try scorers. Hook that into my veins, please. 80% possession, less than 12 errors, and 2,000 run meters. Trey Mooney smashes Nathan Brown, and Fletcher Hunt with the winner try. Love it. I could see, actually, Trey Mooney and Nathan Brown, couple of alpha dogs going toe-to-toe there, mate. Do yourselves a favor. If you haven't done so, it would have been, I want to say 2014-ish, 15-ish. Mitch Barnett versus Nathan Brown, when he was playing for Parramatta. I think it was Toyota Cup. And, oh, my Lord, one of the biggest fights you've ever seen. Like, those guys just throwing down. We know what a psycho Mitch Barnett is and Nathan Brown. And when those two come together, holy shit. Do yourself a favor. Go fucking YouTube that. Awesome. Josh, lock it in. Dom Young, 2 tries. Greg Marzu, anytime try scorer. Sharpie, anytime try scorer. Frizz, anytime try scorer. KP, anytime try scorer. Mate, it would have been quicker for you to list who wasn't going to get a try. And also, KP's going to receive a humping from someone after he scores. Knights to complete at 85% and secure the home final. Well, I hope there's plenty of dry humping, mate. And I hope that's been a directive from Justin Holbrook. I think he might have started. If we see it, can you imagine when, put it this way, imagine if Kalen Ponga was in our 1997 grand final. What kind of, I don't think it would be a dry hump. Might have been a wet hump to that of Darren Albert. Look out. Look out, you lucky man. Tony, my lock it in is that Tommy Turbo will do his hammy again. Oh, well, Tony, I don't know what the odds are on that, but yeah. I really feel for Tommy. He seems like such a good dude. You know, we don't like Manly, but Tommy Turbo is one of the good ones. And obviously he's done wonders for our great state. He's absolutely tormented the Queenslanders. Bane, what do you got, big dog? Knights 1-12. Show a bit of respect to our arch nemesis. Best intercept. Oh, hooked down to my veins. Mr. 40-20, Crossland to kick one. Mooney, anytime try scorer. A Dominic Young double. Smith, 85% goal kicking. Good shout. Good shout. And actually, does Dane Gagai swap jerseys now I think about it, now he's injured or not? One to think about. One to think about. Does he collect a jersey or not? Or does that go against his rule? Paddy, lock it in. 13 beers deep in the Joey John stand and Knights 26-12. Mate, that sounds like the perfect fucking afternoon, pal. Hey? Good stuff, Paddy. Lock it in. Matty Croker for a double. He's earned one, mate. He's absolutely earned one, Noah. I hope he gets one. He's been sensational. Knights by 18 plus. Just nice and simple. Daniel, love it, mate. You haven't tried to bury me like Pete did with his. Just a nice little 18 plus. I'm with you, mate. I'll take that. No worries at all. Oh, here he is. He's awoken from his slumber. You know him. You love him. Billy Butler's Ballads. All right, what have we got, Billy?
White blue Butlers. You threw me with your fucking Sunday review. I'm back in Lillybrook. Been cutting away last. Bottling some fresh whiskey. Those terrible fucking Titans, they tried their best. But they've always been shite. Of that we can attest. We played a little sloppy. And we'll need to improve. For those soft cock silvertails are coming this week to try and break our groove. But the 97 spirit is deep within our bones. And the old boys will be singing proudly on their blue and red thrones. So let it be known, the Novocastrian army is here. And we'll chant Newcastle till we've run out of beer.
Yes, Billy. Oh, that's got me fired up.
Billy, I have a favor to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
Can you please message me on Instagram?
Reach out, Billy.
Reach out. I promise I will keep you anonymous.
All right.
I have a favor to ask you.
Ooh. Good on you, Billy. That's good. That's some fucking good stuff, Billy. That's some good stuff. I knew we would catch you out on a Sunday, you pissed bastard. You're probably just reveling in victory, pal. I don't blame you. I do not blame you at all. Mate, good stuff. Top shelf, Billy. Love it, Billy. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Where was I? I can't even remember. Where were we?
We were wrapping up.
No, we weren't. Burning questions, baby.
Yeah.
Burning questions.
All right, battlers, if you work for a business, chances are you are not prepared for fire. You are not prepared for an emergency, probably like that of Kieran Foran in the Manly Sea Eagles this season. Make sure you don't get caught with your pants down and your ass on fire. Contact the fine folks at Get Out Alive Fire Safety Training for your plans, procedures, because if you do not learn, you're going to burn. All right, let's answer some questions. What do we got?
Noah's asked, hey Link, do you have any updates on how our boys Brown and Lucas are doing on their recovery? Also, if the Knights get knocked out of the finals, we're jumping on the Waz band, right?
All right. I haven't seen anything. If you do want to get some pretty good updates, I'm not sure. I think Dillbags, our boy Dylan Brown, I think he's turned off his Insta. I had quite a few people message me. They're going, oh, did Dylan Brown block me? I'm like, he wouldn't have blocked you. So I think he's just, I don't know, had a bit of a hiatus from Insta, but he's done some pretty good stuff on TikTok, documenting it. He did a really funny video going down, I think it was for his surgery to Sydney, documenting that, going through a McDonald's drive-through, hanging out for a poo. So pretty candid stuff from our boy Dylan Brown. So get around that. Haven't seen too much, mate. Yeah, under the presumption, Dylan Lucas obviously would have gone through his surgery too. So very early days for those boys in a long recovery as well. So wait and see. More and more will come out. But no, I haven't sort of seen too much. And as far as bandwagons are concerned, don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because we're well and truly in the race. But yes, the default team this year is going to be the Waz. All right, 100%. And I would expect any Waz supporters, and I know you're out there, I know you're listening, you're tuning in, we would appreciate that same courtesy to be reciprocated. All right? Deal? Can we at least come to that kind of alliance? I think heading into this finals, the Waz and us battlers are just looking at each other and going, you know what, there's a gentleman's agreement, just a nod to go, yeah, we got each other's backs, 100%. So, yeah, up the Waz, baby.
Brendan said, I want to give praise to Holbrook in his decision to rest players this year when we didn't need to play them if at risk of injury, and having faith in the younger players.
Absolutely, Brendan. Hit the nail on top of that, because it can be, it's bitten many a coach on the ass, is, yeah, just the safer option and to play the senior players. Yeah, you do risk injury. That's the roll of the dice, isn't it? Can certainly backfire and bite you on the ass. But and it just goes to show you the great systems that we've got in place. You know, Justin Holbrook is just smashed out of the park. And as I said, if he doesn't win Coach of the Year, we write it'll be one of the most almighty riots. They're going to have to call in like the federal police to try and break this up. I can't imagine there'd be enough tear gas in the country to stop that riot. But yeah, he's done a sensational job. It just goes to show you, right from front office, recruitment, conditioning, pathways, coaching, fucking everything. Everything is just in beautiful synergy at the moment. Everything's just clicking, working. And yeah, but no, you're right. Huge praise to Justin Holbrook. It just goes to show the great confidence he has in his players. That next man up mentality. That's why when we were having these injuries, I know they fucking suck, right? They suck. You haven't got Dylan Brown and Dylan Lucas, obviously the two big ones. But at the same time, it's devastating as that is, it's still like next man up. It's not too bad. Like, unlike a few years ago when KP was out, whether it was HIAs, at the start of 2023, Liz Frank injuries last year, you're just going, oh boy, we're fucked. We're gone. The tip of the spear is gone. We're literally just throwing a fucking blunt stick at people. But now you got options, and yeah, that's it. And that's credit to Peter O'Sullivan too, who's put this squad together, done a sensational job. Look at his resume. Look at just on Peter O'Sullivan. We're going to glaze Peter O'Sullivan here for a moment. Look at the last three teams he's been employed by are all well entrenched in finals. The Waz, absolute revelation over there. He hasn't been there for a while, but they're still reaping the benefits of having him work there. Look, they've gone on to just be unbelievable. The Dolphins, they had no leg ups. They didn't get a marquee signing when they first came in. Look at them. They've been great. They're going to make their first finals berth. They're a team that can, I know they've had some really poor performance, but they can be a team that can really string a couple of games together. Fucking who knows what can happen for the Dolphins. And then look at us. So it just goes to show the man knows what he's doing. He can put together a fucking good roster. And the last three teams he's worked at, they're all the right end of the ladder, put it that way.
Can you read this out, please, Lincoln?
All right, Chris. So the matchup was going to be Frank the Tank versus Olakau'atu. Frank ruled out. Now it's Frizz versus Olakau'atu. How are we feeling about that? Frizz was great in the front row, but maybe missing a bit of speed. Yes, I am a little bit concerned. I did sort of skip over Haumole Olakau'atu. He is a fucking beast. I know we were kind of talking about Tommy Turbo. Do not sleep on Haumole Olakau'atu. One of the most devastating back rowers in the comp. Third in the NRL for post-contact meters. Fourth in the NRL for tackle breaks. So clearly a big physical type player. I would say what we lack in speed with a guy like Tyson Frizzell, you're going to make up for just, defensive starch, for lack of a better term, I guess you would say. You'd like to think, particularly with Bradman back as well. If Bradman's back, it's going to really shore up that edge. It might be a bit worrisome if maybe you had Fletcher Hunt filling in on that spot. I'd say there'd be a real target area for that of the Seagulls. They'd be looking and going, well, two blokes really who haven't played a whole lot of football on that edge there. I would note also, while I'm on that, I have got it in here. If I could bring it up quickly. The stats. Now, for the Newcastle Knights, where have we got? Now, the Newcastle Knights have conceded, of the 104, that's try scored, sorry, let's go conceded. Now, of the 90 tries that we have conceded this season, 44%, so 40 of them, have been scored on our left edge. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of injury there. Far more than that of the right. Be Brady Bess and Dylan Lucas. So a lot of swapping and changing and things going on there. So a little bit, something to keep an eye on, like when you consider only 30%, so 27 of our 90 tries conceded, a bit on the right, and only 26% through the middle. So, a lot more getting leaked down that left edge. So something to keep an eye on, but I think that's been a symptom of, just been so much chop and change with the right, with the boys there, particularly with Dylan Brown, who's just a defensive dog, really shores up that third man on the right edge there. A little bit more consistent, but something to keep an eye on. But we were robbed of a great battle regardless.
Cameron said Saturday is a sellout, going to be a super Saturday at Mac Jones. Knights in New South Wales Cup then NRLW, then NRL at 3 p.m.
What a beautiful day. What's the weather prediction going to be like too? Surely it's going to be
Usually check that.
yeah, we usually have a look. Another 10 points the first ballot can tell me what the conditions are going to be like in Newey come the weekend. But yeah, it's just a great day for football. Great day for footy. Get
Got
around it.
FOMO now.
Get down to Grainfed, have a couple of cheeky beers, and then just wander on down. Then we're going to go spank all those teams and then go back and party at Grainfed. Good time.
Josh has asked, would you rather get that last top 4 spot and have to play Roosters, or get 5th or 6th and get a first week home final?
Top 4, brother. Top 4, because look what happened last time we played the Roosters. We nearly fucking beat them. They only beat us by 1 point. And anything can happen in finals, mate. It's a totally different comp. Totally different. So Justin Holbrook, he would know the inner workings of the Roosters. Obviously came from there. Should I say too, I had it in my notes, didn't get to it. Stephen Hales, obviously coming from the Seagulls. So you think he would know a thing or two about how Homole and Tommy Turbo are going to be playing as well. So it's something to keep in the back of your mind as well. But nah, you got to get that top 4 spot. If you beat them, which I absolutely think we could beat them, you get the week off. If not, you get a second bite of the cherry. So give me that. I know it'd be great to play at Mac Jones. I get that. But yeah, you want that top 4 spot. 100%. It's such a larger mountain to climb to get the premiership if you're outside of that top 4. So yeah, give me that, please.
Josh said, think it's supposed to rain heaps early in the morning, but then it'll be good game time.
Nice. Good stuff.
Sorry. Christopher's asked, Link, if you could choose 5 Knights old boys to go on a Vegas trip with, who are you taking?
Oh, well, you're taking both the Johns boys for obvious reasons. So there's 2 gone. I keep saying Chief. I'd love just to sit down with Chief. He doesn't strike me as a party animal kind of guy, but I tell you what he would do. He'd keep everyone locked in. He'd be a real a big bit of a father figure. You know, take care of everyone. He would be a man that would hold my hair back while I vomited, like Ty did at a train station. So there's 3 spots. Another one. Give me another old boy. Shit. Give me Kurt Gidley. I've spent a bit of time with Gids. Obviously, I got to interview him over in Vegas and have a beer or 2 with him over there. But yeah, I'd like to kick on there with Gids. And the last spot, who would I give? Another Knights old boy. Robbie O would be a bit of fun, eh? If you're going to go to Vegas, fuck it, let's just rip and tear with Robbie O. There it is. Locked and loaded.
Someone on TikTok before, JLR Jacob, said, my dad was good friends with Robbie O. Davis. They went to school together in Toowoomba.
There you go. Yeah, obviously hailing from Toowoomba, Robbie O. If you remember last year when we had the great Robbie O. Davis on, it was before our clash against the Seagulls. That was a good yarn. Good yarn. Have to get that great man back on the show. Good dude.
Apologies if you just heard me yawning then. Wasn't sure if I turned my mic down.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, good. It was rather loud. Daniel said, you're in Australia. It's pronounced Francis.
Francis. No, that's Ants. There's an air in there. Francis.
Okay.
Francis. Yeah, Francis.
Brody's asked, if we get a home final, will you and Lou come down?
Yeah, 100%, pal. 1,000%. We just had some stuff come up this week. And then it is kind of hard to catch 22 because the Knights watches are so popular. You know, it's which do you do? So, yeah, home semi, you can bet your ass. I wouldn't miss that for the world. 22. How good was 2023 against the Raiders? So good. Not missing out on that again. Good stuff. Is that it?
One more.
One
from
more.
Adam, what's the top 5 try scorers for the club?
Oh, of all time. Oh, shit. Now you put me on the spot. I know Aquila's fucking number 1. Holy shit. Man, oh man, you put me on the spot. Well, Tamana would be up there. I'm going to say he'd be top 5. Shit, man. You've really got me there. Oh, fuck. My head's I've never actually really looked at that. If I'm going to
Get
be
back to you, Barry.
I'll get back. Yeah, you've stumped me, Adam. I know there's going to be someone out there who can rattle off bang, 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 bang. The problem with me, right, there's some really weird, obscure shit that I remember, but then there's like some really obvious shit that I don't recall that well. I don't have one of those really good memories. I can tell you, I don't know why I remember this. Like, I can tell you Pasami Solo's night number 300. Why I remember that, I don't know. But it's burnt into my brain.
Here you go. You got some coming through.
Tahu, yeah, he would be top 5 for sure. Whereabouts? Jalen Feeney, you reckon? Top 5. I was going to say Mad Dog, actually. Mad Dog, because he's played so many games out there. Yeah, you'd think Mad Dog would have to be up there for sure. Matt Gids. You think Matty Gidley would be up there, eh? Yeah. Good, great question. Great question, actually. Comment away and let me know. 10 points the first Butler can tell me. Good stuff. Well, that'll wrap up the show. Now, make sure you tuned in. If you're not going to the game, if you saw that great content with Ty with the Just Mates boys in the Flow Bros and Fletcher and Razor Sharp and Fletcher Hunt, get your mullets on. Get down to Mac Jones Stadium. Chuck on your old kit, particularly the 97 kit. If you got the old Stockland kit, wear that. Rub it into those silver-tail bastards, all right? Have a great day down at Mac Jones. If you're not, that's okay. Tune in, the Knights Watch. We're going to be here. He made his debut last week. The Battlers loved him. We love him. So he's going to come back. He's going to come back again. Michael's going to be joining me on the couch once more.
How good is
for the
it
Knights
that
Watch.
weeks ago that I called the mullet? Hey, when I got that mullet off Amazon.
Yeah, a trendsetter.
Yep.
Hey, absolutely. That's right. Yeah, that was an Amazon find, wasn't it? That's right.
Busting the mullet out.
So
again.
if you need a mullet last moment, you can't find one, hit up Amazon because ours was great. It's fucking huge. Knights Watch will be doing that. But Battlers, that's going to see us out. We're going to get the Adam O'Brien out of here. We'll see you for the Knights Watch on Saturday, Arby. Up the Knights.